The theme, I mean, the video was about, it was a video by Jocko Willink, who was a Navy SEAL, and he was talking about being sort of aggressive and being confident with overcoming fear. And he just talked about how that's like when he was on patrol, or when he was in the Middle East and stuff, he would always train his guys to, when they were on patrol, even though it was really a defensive action, they would act like they were out hunting and searching and scanning, and it was a very big confidence booster, and it was just a very important thing to do for his men because they performed better and they weren't scared, and it was just one of those like mental things. And he just talked about that's like the way you should attack things in your life, where you should face the fear and go at things, and you control it. You don't like let it come to you. So I just thought that was a really good video, and is a really big coincidence with tonight's theme. So, and it applies to speaking, it applies to everything in our lives. So I thought that was an interesting video. So I will now turn the meeting over to our president, David Jones.
Thank you, Julian. I appreciate it. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm David Jones, and I'm the president of Queen City. I want to start off by welcoming our guest. I believe we have Stacy. Stacy, do you want to introduce yourself and tell how you found out about us?
Yes, my name is Stacy Henry. I found out about you guys from an email that I received online. Can you hear me?
Good to have you with us, Stacy. Appreciate you joining us. And Amber just showed up for you, Angelica, so we have all the roles. Amber's coming in now. And I believe everybody else is a member other than Eric, who is our unofficial member / guest. So I just want to say hello to Eric from AM Lockport, New York. Hello. Everybody else here is a member, including Cameron, who is here in person. I believe this is his first meeting being back in a while, so it's good to have him here. Yeah, wait. Yeah.
We have Jimmy.
Where are we at? I'm going to go ahead and turn the meeting over to our Toastmaster of the night, Angelica, and she's going to give our theme and tell us all sorts of good things. So go for it, Angelica. And you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I did it backwards. Good evening, everybody. So tonight is my first night as a Toastmaster. First, I want to thank I will call them our senior Toastmasters, David, Vanessa, Elvis, Natalie, and I know you guys put a lot of time and effort for this meeting, getting it where we are right now. But not only that, you also put a lot of effort in pushing people like me and doing things like this, doing this role, which is funny, it's scary, but I decided that since last week, Vanessa mentioned that somebody else could try. So I said, why not? Why I can lose? So I am taking the risk. And because that, I decided that will be the subject of the night, taking the risks on life. So if I started like thinking what I was going to say. So I remember that I heard not long time ago that an adult take about 3,500 decisions a day. So can be little decisions such as what I'm going to eat for breakfast, I want to drink coffee, what way I will go to the office, to bigger decisions that can really, really change your life. So I thought that, well, before, when I was a young person, sorry, I remember that I used to take bigger risks, right? So when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I remember that I wanted to do bungee jump, and I decided to take the risk to jump from a bridge. It was fun. It was scary, but it was fun. I will do it again, maybe not. As I'm getting older, I noticed that my risks are getting I won't say small, but they are kind of in my safe zone. So I'm not sure if I will do it again, but those big risks that I took, and that one in special, helped me to learn a lot about me, helped me to know what I'm capable to do. And that led me to my next risk. And my next risk is one of the most grateful experiences that I have in my life, because when I was graduating from college, I got the opportunity to move for the first time in my life out of my home, my parents, and live in an area that in my country is called, well, not anymore, but it used to be back then, a war zone, and work with a community, live there for 6 months, helping them to create new opportunities based in my major. And the experience was amazing. And I am so grateful that I took that risk. So, because it makes me who I am now. Then it helps me to make the decision to move here by myself and make my life here. So with all this kind of background that I'm giving you is just to tell you that all these risks and all these little things that we take every day will make us who we are now. And even like this little thing that it's funny, that sounds very scary because I am super nervous doing this. It's just leading me to be better. It's just leading me to kind of fear or fight my fears and become a better speaker. And if I don't take the risk today, when am I going to do it? So I don't know if you guys, I would love to hear if somebody wants to share with us any kind of big risk that you have taken that, you know, makes your life different, or even a small risks or every day that you can take every day. So if somebody wants to share your experiences, we have a few minutes. Come on. Yeah, go ahead, Bailey.
So I'll actually be speaking about it a little bit today, but I just ran a half marathon, and that took a lot of risk for me because I have a lot of like joint issues and everything. But yeah, it was such a whirlwind, and I'm so glad I did it because I can say I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and accomplished something that I set my mind to.
Thank you, Bailey. Totally agree. That is the point. Get out of your comfort zone and do the next step, because that's going to take you to another path. And even if sometimes those risks doesn't give you, they are not good, you think that are negative experiences, if you think through, I think that you find something that you can learn from these experiences, right? I think that we have time to somebody else to share. Yeah, I think so. We have time to somebody else. If somebody else wants to share your experience. I'm trying to look at my slide.
Avinash has his hand up.
Where? Oh, sorry, Avinash, I didn't see your hand. Go ahead.
No worries. There are a lot of, these small windows, and sometimes, you may miss it. Yeah, I want to share my experience. So I'll tell you, I was born in India and I did my schooling from there. So till high school, I studied in Hindi medium, it's a local, language in India. And then after, high school, when I got admitted in engineering, everything was in English. So you can, till high school, I can say, I could hardly speak English. And when I entered into college, everything was English, all the books, all the lectures, everything was English. And I cannot express, how difficult it was, like initial 1 or 2 months. I used to take notes till high school in my classes. But in college, it was like, the professors are talking and then, I'm just trying to write it. And I'm like, writing 1 or 2 sentences. And then, the professor is already like, I think, it was very difficult. I cannot express, how those difficult, initial 2 to 3 months were. So I took that as a challenge, and I realized that, if it continues like that, I'm going to get into a deep trouble. I may not, pass even the first year or the first semester. I took that as a challenge, and I consulted some of my friends. What should I do? How do I come up? This difficulty. So apart from my studies, I started reading a lot of newspaper. Friends told me read a lot of newspapers, and I read English books, novels, story. So I started dedicating a lot of my time in doing that. And I can tell you, it took me 6 months, but after 6 months, I could I could do it comfortably. I passed my first year, and then remaining years with flying colors. But those months were very, very difficult, and it was very challenging phase of my life, I can say. Yeah. Oh, back to you, Angelica.
Thank you, Anish. I totally identify with your experience. I have similar feeling when I moved here, and I have to take my first test in my master program, and it was in English, and it was about lighting. It was very specific. It was a bad experience at that moment. I remember crying and everything, but it makes me better. So now I know a lot about lighting. So you can ask me, and I can help you to select the right lighting.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you again. So I think that we're going to keep moving with the meeting, and it's time to introduce our grammarian for tonight, as this is a very important role. And tonight, I think that somebody else also taking the risk for first time, if I am right, and is Lan. And Lan, I'm sorry, I am saying your last name right, Kapu?
Yeah, it's right. Thank you.
Okay, so please go ahead and let us know what is your role for tonight?
Okay, well, hello everyone. My name is Lon, as Angela had mentioned. Tonight, I am the grammarian, which I will be keeping tracks and tracks of how many filler words that each and every one of us use, such as or so on and so forth, which I probably will be using throughout tonight. I just did. And like she mentioned, tonight is my first role since I've joined Toastmaster. So I've made mistakes along the way, but I am here to improve my public speaking skills. So I am very excited. With that being said, I will go ahead and introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is audacity, which is the quality or states of being audacious, such as boldness, daring, or as some may say, reckless. And to put it in a sentences, he had the audacity to defy his boss. And I will repeat the word of the day again. The word of the day or for tonight is audacity. Back to you, Toastmaster.
And thank you so much. I think that we are going to be very audacity tonight. Did I say that right? I believe so. So thank you for the word of the day. That's perfect for tonight. All right. So now we are moving on to our next role for the night. I am going to call Avanesh Sainz to tell us about his role as the timer for tonight. Go ahead, Avanesh.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. My name is Avinash Singh, and I'm going to be the timer for tonight's meeting. As a timer, I'll time the different speeches, which is formal speeches, evaluations, and table topics. I'll also alert the speakers of the time they have left using green, amber, and red colors. So just so that everybody is aware, table topic speeches are 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, my background will change to green. 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll change the background to amber. And at 2 minutes, I'll change the background to red. The formal speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the background will change to green. At 6 minutes, the background will change to amber, and 7 minutes, the background will change to red. Evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll change the background to green. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll change it to amber, and at 3 minutes, I'll change the background to red. For guests, there are no time limits, and they can, speak whatever time duration that's, they are comfortable with. So that's all about as a timer role. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Avanesh. That was very clear. I think that the background helps us a lot to make sure that we follow over time. So thank you again. So now we are going to move over a fun part of the meeting, which is our speakers. So tonight our first speaker, she has been with us for, I believe, few months already. She did already her ice breaking, which I remember very well. It's very good. And tonight she is doing her first speech. Is that right, Bailey? Correct. So for everybody, please welcome Bailey Barry in her first speech of the night.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Greeting fellow Toastmasters and guests. I apologize. I had this speech all written up about self-discipline, and I didn't even realize that there is a theme of taking risks till today. So that was bad on my part. But anyway, it sort of aligns with taking risks. So I wanted to ask you all, why does one take risk? Anybody?
There's no reward unless you take a risk.
Yep. No reward. It can grow confidence. It could also give you valuable insight. A time in the year where people try to take risks is when they put together their New Year's resolutions. I mean, when you think about it, people want to try a new hobby or a new skill or go to the gym more. There's always sort of a risk in taking a leap of something new. So I made a resolution of making something new each month, trying something new. So I've given up social media. I've learned Spanish. I've played golf. And by far, the biggest risk I've taken has been running a half marathon, which I just completed last weekend, actually. So running a half marathon, my whole goal was to go the whole way without stopping, 13.1 miles. And man, it was extremely hard. And I had to sacrifice a lot of myself in different ways in my life to be able to achieve this risk or goal, you should say, in terms of running this half marathon. So I started my training back in February, running about 3 times a week. And I easily could have just gone through my old ways of taking a nap after work or eating potato chips and watching TV. But I stuck through with this strict schedule of running and also incorporated some cross training that I could build confidence and build strength as I continue to go on these longer runs. Not only did I have to sort of train differently, I had to also change my overall health habits. So I do not like to eat out, I do like to eat out because I do not like to cook. I would rather do anything but cook because I would burn my apartment down if I tried. But I had to incorporate a better diet. And by doing so, it forced me to have to cook at home. So a lot of veggies and lots of meats and trying to be healthier, which changed my lifestyle in terms of food. I also had to stay quite hydrated for running long distances. So I had to give up a lot of coffee, soda that I would drink during the week, or even alcohol. Like I would have to give all of that up so I could best perform to the best of my ability throughout the weeks. Not only did I have to eat well and hydrate, sleep was also important for me. I would be up like a night owl, just really didn't care about getting my 7 to 8 hours. And when doing this training, I would get up about 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. And it was really crucial for me to get my 7 to 8 hours each day. So again, I could perform to the best of my abilities. And then finally, it really took a hold on my mental aspect. I was very negative in the beginning, thought, what in the heck am I doing running a half marathon? I can barely run 1 mile. But incorporating these different habits, I should say, by eating better or training more, it helped me build confidence in myself. So I had more of a positive mental approach, I guess, to running these long distances. And that sure did help me overall. And I can say with confidence, taking these small little risks, whether that was to eat better, train harder, physically, mentally, just changing my whole approach really helped get to where I wanted to go in terms of a goal. And I couldn't do that at all without the help of having an accountability partner that helped me get through those really tough days where I didn't want to run or eat healthy. They were there to push me and help me sort of see the goal that I want to see for myself for this risk I'm taking. And then honestly, just having a why and having it everywhere where I can see it. You know, for me, it was pushing myself out of my comfort zone and taking a risk to prove to myself that I can do anything that I set my mind to. And so without my why and without my accountability, I really don't think I could have taken this risk of running a half marathon without them. And it helped me be able to run it and feel like I accomplished what I set my mind to. And that's all I have. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Ellie, thank you so much for sharing this experience with us. I totally agree with you. I admire you because I feel like I'm very consistent on some of my habits, but decided to run a half marathon and change all these habits is something else. And it's, you know, big kudos for doing that. How was your marathon? Did you do good?
I did it. I ran without stopping. So that was my whole goal. So all of it paid off, taking all the risks.
Awesome. Great experience again. Thank you for sharing with us. So we can do it too. So why not? All right. Okay. So we going now to our second speaker of the night. And this is Ali Towing, who is I consider one of our senior members because he was before I started. So, but I want to thank Ali because he decided to do his speech tonight in the last minute. We have a cancellation and he jumped on it. So Ali, thank you. He is in the motivational level pathway, and his speech tonight is about take action. Take action, Ali. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Hello, real people. How you guys doing? Hello, people on Zoom. Tonight, I'm going to give you guys a speech about taking action. And like she said, I just took this role like 30 minutes ago. I saw that I wasn't supposed to be here tonight. And they were like, we need speakers. So I was just like, all right, let's do it. So I'm not prepared for this, right? I didn't come up with any bright ideas. I just thought it's on top of my head. I said, I'm just going to do it. So today, I'm giving a speech about taking action. Why? Because I'm starting to notice something in this world. We got all this information out here. You have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Barnes & Noble. You got Audibles. You have so much information out here. People are on information overload. And then once you get on information overload, it's just like you just sit and you just get stuck. You're like, what do I do? And people just can't figure it out because you got one guy saying this. We got one guy saying this. We got another person saying this. And you're reading this book is saying this. You all over the place. You don't know where you're going. Like, what I figure out is Because I did all of that. I did all the books, all the audios, all the podcasts, all the YouTube videos, everything. The only way you're going to become successful is you got to take action. That's the only way. And I don't know if you guys, I don't condone saying a cuss word, but you got to take effing action. That's the only way to become successful. You got to take massive effing action. You have to put yourself in a place where you got to say, okay, I have literally done all the research. I'm just going to do it. A book came out a long time ago, Robert Kiyosaki, says, why do C students hire than A students? What they learned was kids who did better in school coming up, who got straight A's, who were essentially the people who did the best academically, were the ones who were getting employed by the kids who were the C students, because they learned that the C students didn't want to figure everything out, but the A students wanted to know everything. And with the C students, they were willing to take more risk and willing to fail their way to success. And so they ended up hiring those A students. It's a great book. And what that book taught me is that analysis paralysis is going to hold a lot of people back from chasing after their dreams every single day. And you just have to take action to do whatever you want to do. You want to go to the gym. People say, I don't know how to work out. Bro, figure it out. Go to the gym, start getting on a treadmill. You want to swim. I can't swim. People, figure it out. Go to the ocean, just start swimming, right? You want to talk to this girl. Figure it out. Go up there and just start talking to her. It's just that simple. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. Embarrassment is free out here. Embarrassment is free, okay? But you just have to take action. I'm going to give you an example about when I had to take action. 2 examples. Long time ago, maybe like last year, I went to this meeting, this real estate meeting about these big players in Charlotte. I went to the meeting. I got uncomfortable. I left. I called my uncle. I'm like, dude, I don't know what happened. I just went to this meeting. I just left. He was like, why did you leave the meeting? I was like, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be around their presence. He said, did you die? And I said, no, I didn't die. He said, well, why did you not go to the meeting? He was like, you need to go to the meeting next time, just sit there. So you know what happened? I just went to the meeting. Second time I took massive action, freaking cold calling. Have any of you guys, I know you cold call. Anybody ever cold call here? Has anybody ever cold call? You're calling somebody you don't know and you're trying to pitch them something. So I'm calling David. I don't know who David is. I'm saying, hey, Dave, my name is Ali. I sell this. I'm introducing myself to him. I'm trying to get his book. I'm trying to get his business. David's like, dude, where'd you get my phone number? Why are you calling me? Yeah, that is very uncomfortable. Cold calling is very uncomfortable. But in order for me to become successful, I have to do it. I have no other choice. And every time I cold call somebody, I'm scared. I'm scared. But you know what? I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm still here. I'm still here. I gotta take action. I gotta figure it out. I gotta make a commitment to myself, and I gotta figure the rest out later. I'm gonna tell you guys some people who took a massive risk that you might know of. 3 powerful people who use their products. Bill Gates, college dropout. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, college dropout. Steve Jobs, college dropout. Guys, these are 3 people who dropped out of college, who decided to take that risk because they feel like taking action on something they believed in was more important than them doing what they were doing before. You gotta be willing to take action. You gotta be willing to take risk. I mean, you gotta be willing to take so much action that you're willing to lose a lot. I was having a conversation. I'm in an accountability group. I know Bailey had a speech about being in an accountability group. I'm in an accountability group. A guy said, listen, he says a year ago, I was making 6 figures. He was like, dude, I was making $150,000. He said, I had money sitting in a 401k. He said, I had $350,000 sitting in a 401k. He was like, I realized that me making this money and having this secure job and then this money sitting over here was not fulfilling my dreams. He was like, my whole life, I wanted to do real estate. He says, I dumped the 401k. I quit the job. And he just took a massive risk. Now, this man got family. This man got kids. I don't condone people just quitting their job. Please, nobody. I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying this man got family. This man had kids. He had security. And he felt that he needed to fulfill his full potential by taking that type of risk. So if it's one thing I want everybody to get from this speech is, you just got to do it. You just got to take action. And then once you start feeling analytical, over analytical, just start doing it. You want to become successful? Do it some more, right? I'm going to do it some more. I'm just going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then one day you'll look up and be like, oh my God, all my dreams have come true. That's my speech for tonight. Thank you guys for listening to me. Please just take action, whatever you do. Take action. Take action, please.
Ali, thank you so much. I totally agree with you. I think that to me, the best way to do it is do the first step. Every time that I took the first step, it helps me to keep going. So the hardest part for me is take that first step, but when I take action for that one, I know that I can keep going. So thank you, Ali. This was a great speech, and again, thank you for doing it in the last minute. All right, so now we're going to a very fun part of the meeting, and this is our table topic area of the meeting. I repeated, sorry. So I am going to introduce tonight our table topic master, Julian Effort. Please, Julian, go ahead and introduce your role.
Hey everyone. So in addition to the intro, I'm also going to be doing table topics tonight. So table topics is impromptu speaking, and it's 1 to 2 minutes. And we love it if guests participate. It's a really good way to just, get out of your comfort zone a little bit and just do a very short, speaking session. And then I have questions, and I'll let anyone volunteer if they want to. And if not, I'll just call on someone, see if they want to do it. Do we have any volunteers for the first one? Okay, Jim, you want to do it?
Yes, sir. I'll do it.
Awesome. All right. So going along with the theme with taking risk and dealing with fear and stuff like that, what is something you fear, and have you done anything to try and overcome it?
It's a good question, Julian. There's not many things that I consider to be fearful, but I guess the main thing is how everybody views fear, I guess. And what I mean by that is when there are things that are out there that we may not understand, what makes that something that we should all fear? So it's almost like having, excuse me, having the audacity to be great. Like, why should we all be great? And that could be upbringing, that can be failures, that can be a number of things. But honestly, when we take a strong look at ourselves, why shouldn't we take risks? Why shouldn't we be the best version of ourselves? So I've had that type of upbringing. I've had single mother households. My grandmother raised me. My mom was in the military and she was overseas a lot. So with those situations, upbringings, and my dad was in my life. So he also gave me a lot of confidence, but all of these things pan into fear not really being an option. And you looking at obstacles in life and how are you going to get there? You just got to grind it out. You have to, have perseverance. And again, if somebody tells you that you can't, they shouldn't have the audacity to say so. So that's my take on fear. Thank you.
Awesome. That was a really good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. It's just the fear is in your head, and I think there are ways to control it if you learn how. All right, do we have any volunteers for the second question? Okay. Sorry, what was your name again?
Amber.
Amber.
Sorry, I think that they're on mute.
Amber, you're on mute.
It's Amber, right?
You're right there.
My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's Amber, right?
Yes, Amber Denise.
Okay. All right, awesome. Second question. So tell us about a time when you were afraid to do something, but you did it anyway.
Okay, so a time where I was afraid to do something and I did it anyways. So I was in the Army, active duty for 6 years, and a lot of things I just had to do it because I had to do it. And yeah, I was leading a lot of soldiers. And one thing that I would say I was terrified of was moving out of the country. I mean, I just graduated from college, and they said, okay, well, we're giving you orders to Korea. And even though I've been away from home for 4+ years, I mean, I'm in a different state, I'm in a different country. So moved to Korea and I was just scared. I mean, I was on my own. I didn't know anyone. I just adapted. I just took on that fear and just adapted to the culture, started eating their food, started traveling, and then I kind of got used to it. And then I was told, okay, so you're getting orders to Hawaii. And I know people are like, so I mean, it's Hawaii. What can you be scared of? But when you live somewhere, it's different than just visiting, and it's different than visiting, but just to make it your home. So a lot of places I had to move when I was in the military, and I just had to learn how to adapt and just talk to people and do activities and eat their food and just learn their culture. So I would say a fear that I overcame.
Great answer. That's definitely a big one to overcome. So, all right. Do we have another volunteer?
Yeah, I'll do one. This is Cameron. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, lay it on me.
All right. So, do you think that fear is something that humans have good control over, or is it mostly out of our control?
Great question. Great question. I would say both. I think that fear is something that you're born without control over, because from what I've been told, or what makes the most sense to me, is that fear is actually a survival instinct. I guess back in the caveman days, they were going up against saber-toothed tigers, opposing tribes, or big woolly-toothed mammoths, or whatever you want to call it. They got into a situation when their adrenaline started pumping, butterflies started going, thoughts started racing. You had what was called fight or flight. And so they had to make a gut decision right then. And what it was their fear that was feeding either one or the other. You stay and fight or you run away. So less drastic measures moving forward. You know, you're maybe not fighting for your life. It may be doing a table topics. It might be doing a job interview. It might be proposing to the person that you love, whatever it might be. You can learn to control your fear by doing other things in life that help you take those small baby steps to get there, because those same animal instincts that are within you, which is the fight or flight, are always there, but it's kind of trying to mask them over time. And I think the way you do that is small baby steps, or small victories, if you will, where once you do it enough times, you figure out, hey, like Ali said earlier, it's not going to kill you. So when you do that enough times, you're retraining your brain that you can control it, bottle it up. So you still have all those same feelings, but you can control it. Thank you.
Another great answer. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Do we have time for one more? Okay. Do we have another volunteer for the last question?
I think Tiffany.
I think I saw Tiffany first, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So last question. This is more along like the lines of risk instead of fear, but what would you say that your risk tolerance is? And would you take risks normally, or would you normally be more cautious and reserved?
I'm a big risk taker. When I was young, like how Angelica said earlier, I used to ride motorcycles and I used to see things on TV. I used to travel. But now, since I have a 14-year-old son, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I'm on mommy duty times a lot. So I have a I'm a risk taker at some things, but I balance them. But I'm happy that this topic came up because all week I was thinking about Tiff. You have to take risks. You have to not live in fear with all the things that's going on in the world. You still can't live in fear. So with me, my risk level is in between, in the middle, but now I'm taking risks now with even doing these Toastmasters. So you need to take risks. That's all I have for that.
Great, very nice. All right, are we good to go, or do you want me to do one more?
We can do one more if you want. We have one more if a few minutes.
Okay, I can do one more. Any volunteers for the last one?
I'm standing here, so I guess I'll do one.
Okay.
Enough.
All right, David. So what is something you were afraid of as a child that you grew out of?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Greeting fellow Toastmasters and guests. Something I was afraid of as a child. I don't think I was afraid of anything as a child. It became more as an adult. As a child, I grew up in the Florida Keys. I was always out in the water by myself. I mean, my parents were very irresponsible. I was literally 5th or 6th grade and I had my own boats and I'd be out in the ocean cruising around in either sailboat or motorboat all by myself, nobody watching me. As an adult, I became scared of heights for some reason. And about 2 years ago, I overcame that fear, mostly going to the Whitewater Center. I was zip lining, doing rock climbing, doing all sorts of things at the Whitewater Center. And now I'm comfortable rock climbing up at like Crowder's Mountain, where I'm hanging off the side of the mountains, or it just doesn't bother me anymore. But as a kid, I think I was fearless, like most younger people are. But now, as an adult, I'm more concerned. I think back in the day, I used to always want to do, when you jump out of the airplane, what's that called? Skydiving. Always wanted to be a skydiving. But now, as I'm in my mid-50s, that doesn't sound appealing to me. I know I could break something or hurt something, so I become wiser as I've gotten older. But fear is something that we all have, but you just got to learn to overcome it, just like Angelica did tonight. So congratulations, Angelica, but that's it. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
All right, great answers, everyone. And I'll go ahead and just turn it over to Angelica.
Thank you, Julian. This has been really inspirational. Oh yeah, we're running out of time.
We need a timer's
what
report
happened?
for the speeches and the table topics.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call. Okay. Yeah, so let's move on to our timer report. Avinash, please go ahead.
Sure. Let me give the timer report first for the speeches. So Bailey took 5 minutes, 45 seconds, so she qualifies. Ali took 6 minutes, 2 seconds, so Ali also qualifies. For table topics, Jim took 1 minute, 37 seconds, so Jim qualifies. Amber took 1 minute, 23 seconds, Amber also qualifies. Cameroon, am I getting the name correct? Sorry, I missed the name. Cameroon took 1 minute, 39 seconds. Cameroon also qualifies. Tiffany took 59 seconds, just 1 second short of minimum one. But I'll give that leverage to you, Tiffany. So Tiffany also qualifies. David took 1 minute, 17 seconds. David also qualifies. In short, everybody qualifies in their respective areas. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
You're muted.
It keeps not happening. I click and it's not working tonight. All right, so thank you, Manish. This was a great report. So we're going to keep moving with our meeting tonight, and we're going to a very important part of the meeting, which is our general evaluation. And I am going to introduce one of our really senior and very important member of this club. He is willing to help us a lot. He has helped me a lot, very committed, and I really admire his speeches and the way how he talks. So please look at him to learn how to keep improving your speeches. So please go ahead, Elvis Lopez, and introduce, explain your role as a general evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have the pleasure tonight to be the general evaluator. As a general evaluator, the first part of my role will be to introduce the evaluators that will be giving their evaluation for the prepared speeches. I will also be calling for the grammarian report, and at the end, I will be providing a general evaluation of the meeting as a whole. So without further ado, let me start by introducing our first evaluator of the night, who will be evaluating the first speech. That will be Amber evaluating Bailey's speech.
Okay. All right. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. I am Amber Tenise, and I will be doing an evaluation on Bailey. So one, I thought the speech was amazing. I mean, talking about risk and just taking those risks was awesome. A great topic. I like how you started the speech with interaction and asking that question. I feel like your speech, it definitely flowed. You had like an introduction, then the middle, and then you concluded. I like how you had stories and facts and just you were confident. Also, it's crazy. So like I definitely connect with your speech because like you know, I ran a lot. There was a summer, well, I was in the Army, like I mentioned earlier, and we had to run a lot in the military. And as a leader, as a captain, I had to be in front of my soldiers. And a lot of times I could not stop. And sometimes we would have 45 pounds in our back. And so I just connected with it. And it takes discipline to do that. So I commend you on that. Also, I mean, and it's, you mentioned, you know, you were disciplined and how you kind of had to change your mindset. And it's like our mindsets, it's a powerful thing. We literally can do whatever we want to do if we put our mind to it. And also just having that why of why we do it. And also it's good to have that support. The only thing that I seen with this looked up, you have the audacity to look up a lot of the time. Try to get that word in there. But overall, it was a great speech, and thank you so much for giving it. I really do appreciate you for that. So thank you, and I will give it back to you.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you so much for that evaluation, taking all of those details from Bailey's speech and providing valuable feedback. Now, our next evaluation would be performed by Cameron. He will be evaluating the second speech from Ali Tobin. Please welcome Cameron, our next evaluator.
Y'all can't hear me, all right. I'm getting used to these Zoom things. So. Well, first of all, I'm up here right now because David had the audacity as soon as I walked in the door to say, you want to be an evaluator, jump right back into this thing. And I'm glad I did because Ali challenged us to take action. So here I am taking action. This is actually the first time I've ever in my Toastmasters history given an evaluation. So I hope it goes well. So first of all, I think we should all applaud Ali because he come up here off the cuff and just laid it on us with a speech that I could have swore he had written and rehearsed, because that's when he said that, one thing I was looking for, well, okay, how's this going to flow? Is he going to be jitter jabber all over the place, just jumping from topic to topic? But he really wasn't. He started off with great topics when he said, we get information overload. We got books that we can read. We got podcasts that we can listen to. We've got people we can watch on TV that tell us what to do. But until you get out and do it yourself, you're never going to be successful. So I really like that. It's kind of like somebody told me one time, you're not going to learn how to swim by reading a book on how to swim. You got to get out there. And he even threw that analogy in there, talking about swimming. You're not going to die, he said. Well, if you don't know how to swim and you go jump in the ocean, I say you could possibly die. But still, the point is valid. I like that. Ali has great use of his hands. You see, he gets up here. He even though there's only 4 of us here, and most of you are at home on your screens, he's working with his hands. He's trying to make his point over here. He's making his point over here. So he's got a great use of his hands. I wrote that down. He gave great examples of Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. That was another point that he made. So he really had like 3 good topics. He was talking about the information overload, one good topic. He talked about people that have done it before who have been obviously successful billionaires. And then he also talked about C students working for A students, and the reason why is because they weren't afraid to take risks. He had the quote, "not going to die." But the thing that I loved most about Ali is that he left us with a challenge. And the challenge was take action, take action, take action. He kept driving that point home. So that was the best part. The best part about any speech, I feel like, is making a challenge to the audience at the end. So I love that. For me, maybe it was because I was writing stuff down and trying to listen. When you make 3, maybe some things to work on. So one, when you're making these great points, maybe, I don't know, give the audience time to digest the first one before rolling on to the next one. I think you did great, but you rolled right into the next one without slowing down and then proceeding. So I don't know, maybe it doesn't take away from your speech, but it helps the audience take more from it when you take those little pauses. So I think personally that helps. I think you have a great voice. So I would say just work on challenging that vocal range. Go high, go low. Don't be afraid to shout. You can't really whisper in here because we got a large air conditioner back here moaning at us. But you have a great voice. You have great, I think enthusiasm is your number one thing that you have going for you. That's awesome. So keep that. Maybe shout. Challenge your vocal range and play with it. So that's it.
Thank you, Cameron, for such a wonderful evaluation. One of the purpose of the evaluation is to provide positive feedback, and both our evaluators have given very positive feedback, and also some points for improvement, which is actually part of the positive feedback loop that helps us all improve. And that's what we're all here for, to hear how we can always improve. So very, very thoughtful evaluation from both the evaluators. Now, before I call for the grammarian report, because I want her also to catch all of my ams or ands and all of the filler words, I will proceed with my general evaluation of the meeting as a whole. So I'm going to start with the start of the meeting. We started on time, which is now very common and usual. It's a reflection of our preparation. We are, even after going over different situations that happen, such as some of the roles not being filled up at the very last minute, we were able to pull it up, and kudos to our Toastmaster and our president for filling up all the roles before we started. The sergeant in arms, Julian, I don't see him, but he started with a very good introduction. As always, he's now making it a practice to start working through an introduction and joining it and aligning it with the theme of the day. So that was very good, very nicely done by Julian at the beginning of his introduction of the meeting as well. Angelica, congratulations for your first role as a Toastmaster. Thanks for your audacity. It takes great energy. And fighting your fears to take on that role. And you have done it masterfully. Thank you for taking that risk and for all of the details. You introduced all of the roles and the speakers. Thank you for being vulnerable and letting us know about yourself and some of the fears that you have gone through yourself and how you have overcome those. So that is actually a very inspirational and something that we can all relate with and take it as part of fighting our fears, because we all have to do it on a daily basis. A few things that obviously could be improved and as part of the evaluation, as we have heard before, the timing or the timers report you missed, but that's a very little thing, which is something that you might take into consideration for the next one. But overall, you've been doing a wonderful job as a Toastmaster tonight. The speakers, Bailey and Ali, thank you, and especially because both of you, even after done some preparation, it actually felt like you were both speaking of the cough and trying to actually go over your commitment of making it a speech for tonight. So thank you both for such an inspiration, for being such an inspiration for all of us, and just taking the opportunity and taking your chances and your risks and showing us how you do it. Table topics, Julian had a very thoughtful group of questions, and we had also very good speakers. All of the, it took me really some time to actually go over which one was the preferred table topics tonight, because all of the table topic speakers were great. Julian also did a great job complimenting the work of each one of the speakers. So he went over what they spoke about and actually complimented each one of them, which was actually, I found it very good. For the evaluation, both Amber and Cameron did a great evaluation, as I mentioned before. One of the things to remember is to always provide some rooms for improvement. I think Cameron did, and Amber also provided some useful points also for improvement. So overall, all in all, I think we've had a great, wonderful meeting tonight. And with that, I will now call our grammarian, that I'm sure she caught many of my filler words. So please welcome Lan to give us the grammarian report.
All right, first and foremost, everyone did a great job tonight, but I'm just gonna go ahead and call out some of the filler words. So first we have our lovely Toastmaster. I wanna say congratulations, you did a phenomenal tonight. You did say a lot of so and ah. For so, you said at least 5 times, at least 8 times, 1 times, 4 times, but great jobs on leading the meetings tonight. And then next we have our timer, Avinash, if I pronounce that correctly. You said 7 times, and you said, more than 10 times. You did not use the word of the day, but great jobs on tonight. Then we have our speakers for tonight. Bailey, great job on the speech. You did not use any filler words, but you did say so but it flowed very smoothly. So it was a smooth transition. It was very appropriate, I would say. Ali, you said like 5 times, but great job on the speech for last minute. I know I could not have done that. So great job on that. Julian, he's not here, but he said at least 8 times. And then we have our table topics. Jim, you said so 4 times, but it was very appropriate and the first person to use the words of the day, which is audacity. Great job on that. Amber, great job on the evaluations. You said 3 times, 1 times, and you used the word of the day. So great job on that. Cameron, you said 2 times and you used the word of the day. Fantastic job on that. Tiffany, no word of the day, but you did say 2 times, but still good job. And David, no filler words. Did not use word of the day, but still good job. You had no filler words as expected from the president. And then we have Elvis. You said 7 times. You tried to sneak in the word for the word of the day, but still good job. Everyone did a fantastic job. And I know I said and a few times. So yeah, back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Len. And now this concludes our evaluation session. And now I will pass it over to our Toastmaster, Angelica.
Thank you, Elvis. What a wonderful evaluation. Thank you for the kind words to everybody. And again, learning from you because I love how you speak and how slow and you think of the words. So thank you again. I'm going to call the timer so he can report the time for our evaluations. Vantage.
Yeah. Our first evaluator, Amber, took 2 minutes, 10 seconds, so she qualifies. Second evaluator, Cameron, took 3 minutes, 13 seconds, so Cameron also qualifies. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Vantage. Well, this is kind of the end of my role tonight. I want to thank you, everybody, and I think that this was very inspiring. I feel that my confidence is going up, so thank you to everybody for giving me the opportunity, and I am celebrating the audacity of everybody to taking the risk and take action tonight. Back to our president, who is gonna to explain about our ballot counters.
Okay.
And back to you, David. Thank you.
All right, you made it, Angelica. You feel good now?
I did.
Yeah. There you go. Congratulations. Yeah, real quick before I announce the winners, now that we have people in person, these are our ballots. That's a roll that's on there called ballot counter. And basically at the bottom, there's 3 little ballots, one for each of the speeches. You just kind of, when you're in person, you're here, you pull them off, tear them off, and then you write it and somebody will walk around and pick them up. That's the normal way of doing the polling versus here. There's also little things on here where you can send messages to the speakers, tell them what you thought about it in addition to the evaluator. So when you get here in person, hopefully we can start using these. Now, for the winners tonight, not winners, but your favorite speakers. The first one was Jimmy. Congratulations for the table topics. And Jimmy, if you were here, you would get a ribbon. We have a little ribbon. And our favorite evaluator goes to Cameron. Cameron is actually a veteran, but he's he's been here. Cameron. And our favorite speaker of the night goes to Mr. Ali, of course. Ali. I've got another one. There you go. So we do give out ribbons. Just yeah, there you go. See, if you're in person, you win. So, but I didn't win as table topics, so that didn't work. Anyways, I just want to thank everybody. We had a great meeting. A lot of first timers. Lon did great. Jimmy, thanks for participating. Our guest, Stacy. Stacy, do you have any feedback or any thoughts about the meeting tonight?
That was wonderful. I learned a lot. I'm not from the country. accent. And when I get I speak as hard to understand. I didn't have a problem going. I love to read. You know, I always participated in all. I went to college. You know, when I had to do a speech, everybody looked at me funny. And from then I started not participating in a lot of stuff. I guess because I asked. When I was asked, but I teach was great, and my accent comes out a lot. I can't understand me, but you know, I don't have a. I mean, I don't have a. But I mean, and going more more.
All right, well, thank you for your feedback. It was a little, connection wasn't too good, so we only heard a little bit of what you said, but
I know my computer has my tablet has a delayed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, my tab delayed.
All right, well, hopefully we'll see you here again. Yeah. All right, Cameron, I'm not, well, first Bailey, thanks for giving your first speech. That was great, I appreciate it. Off to a good start. And Cameron, I didn't know this was your first evaluation, so thank you for giving it. Cameron inspired me a long time ago. I don't know if you remember it. I don't know if it was set up. I think it was set up, but you did a table topics for, I forget his name, but he challenged you to like be dramatic, and you remember that one? Yeah. It was over, and it was like, I was like, I'm never gonna do table topics because he was like over the top dramatic, and it was great, but it was Cameron. So he's a really good public speaker. So I'm glad that he's back here with us. And I think we're gonna call it a night. We're a few minutes late, but we had a good meeting, and hopefully we'll see you all here very soon. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.